Hello, hello, hello! Welcome to Incorrect Fanfiction. I know it's been a while, and you can probably tell I'm not in my usual setting. Let's quickly fix that. Alright, so, now we're in our usual setting. As you can tell, this video is going to be a little different than the other ones that I've been doing recently. This is sort of like a fanfiction, but, well, it's really an original story. So I'm thinking of starting a series on this channel, My Hero series, not My Hero Academia. That's a totally different thing. But in this series, I am planning on telling you guys my own heroes and maybe villains, anti-heroes that I have came up with, and sort of the storyline I have constructed for them. Real quick before we begin, subscribe, bell icon, you guys know that means. Moving on. To start from where my very first hero, I guess, that started, is my superhero called Shifter. He was probably one of my first ones I ever came up with. So, Shifter is a interdimensional hero. His origin story is he was interning on a cargo ship that was transporting a Stargate to a military facility across the ocean. I don't remember which ocean has the Bermuda Triangle, but yeah. So he went down there, was sort of goofing around, and accidentally turned it on, and thought, hey, why not? Let's see what happens. So he started walking through the Stargate. However, not to his knowledge, they just entered the Bermuda Triangle barrier, and the Stargate gate, closed right on top of him. In doing so, it was this weird melding of minds. His mind went further, but closer. All the weird stuff happened to him. Once he gained consciousness from this portal snapping shut on him, he was a little bit disappointed. He was kind of looking forward to seeing new things, and this is the sentence specifically what he says after this happens. Like, man, I was so excited. I was going to go through different dimensions, see new beings. That was going to be so cool. Dang it. He looks at his watch. He's like, oh shoot, I'm late for my shift. And then all of a sudden, poof, he's gone. And then he comes back, but as this seaweed enchained sort of creature, he's not quite sure what it is until a sudden pain in his eye, just like, wow. And then he understood this was some sort of underwater guy, and these, like, the seaweed and chains were his appendages, all of them. So he started walking around, but the ship hit something, and he quickly went above deck, seeing that they hit a huge rock out in the middle of nowhere. Everyone's panicking, the ship is sinking, and also seeing him. So he did something that he found out he could do. He quickly grabbed everyone with his chains and seaweed and launched everyone off the ship and landed on the rocks. And then he kept them above him as he sank to the bottom of the ocean. And then he continued to walk across the bottom of the seafloor. By morning, the rest of the crew was unconscious on the beaches of Florida. And he came out and he's still very confused on what on earth has happened to him. And he tries to explain his friend after his giant panic attack from the seaweed thing. And of course, one of the crewmates mentioned the police that something saved him, but he wasn't quite sure. And his story starts from there. As time goes on, he realizes he can turn into different people from different dimensions. And this seaweed and chain guy was from some dimension. He doesn't know where. And his right eye completely changed from his left eye. He used to just have brown eyes, and now his right eye is like this hypnotizing blue eye. And that is the same with any being he is. So his catchphrase to turn into these new dimensional beings is dimensions being shift. And he turns into someone new. He disappears from that reality and comes back to reality in a different body. And it can literally be anything because dimensions are infinite and literally anybody goes. So maybe one day he would be a fire hydrant that can spit out acid, or the next day be a mouse detective, or the next day be a giant oven golem. But who knows? So later on he discovers that it takes 12 hours until he can change into a different person again, no matter how many times he says the phrase. But much later on, when he was starting to do more and more hero work in his world, he was sort of experimenting on new things and stuff. Oh wait, so before that happens, he was a being that was super technology advanced and was starting to make things to protect himself from this bad guy he was fighting. However, he had to change quickly because the entire city was going to go if he didn't do something fast. So he changed, but he had two devices that were products of that being. One was a strange-looking machine, and the other was half a tablet that looked like it was supposed to attach to his arm. He wasn't quite sure what they meant at the time. But now, when he was experimenting with his powers to turn into different beings from other dimensions, he tried this phrase, shift beings dimensions, the complete opposite of his phrase. And instead of turning into a different person, he went to a different place instead. But now the problem is he has no idea how to go back. And he continues his interdimensional work from there, but also discovers the machine, the complete one, was some sort of recall, you could say. It was a small piece of paper with this sort of clay-like ball, and he gave it to people to have them call him back when they need him. And how to do it was they read the inscription on the piece of paper. They would take the clay, put it on the ground, and squish it with their left foot after saying the incantation. It has to be left foot or it wouldn't work. So once they do that, he would come back to their dimension and help what's ever going on. But as time passes on, he becomes the world's most known interdimensional hero shifter. With each new dimension, he takes a new form, and at every 12 hours he can turn into a new person. Every 24 hours he can go to a new place. Some he loves, some he doesn't love that much. But during his travels, he founded one of the most powerful hero groups could ever be conceived, the Mixture. Now, he is one of the 3 original founding members. I'm not going to tell you much of them, at least not in this video. I might do another one if you guys liking this video and everything. But so yeah, basically Shifter is the best interdimensional hero you can think of. However, he can never predict where he's gonna land. Oh, and you're probably wondering what that half of the tablet was about. Later on, again, and just skipping through his life, I still haven't quite made a good structure yet, because it's always so random, it's sort of hard to map it, I guess. But that tablet allows him to be able to pick through previous beings that he was. So if he needed a certain person for a job, he could be able to scroll through his tablet, find them, and turn into them. But it only worked on past ones. If he wanted to try something new, he would have to use his phrase, and he would get a new person. But as I said, it's unpredictable. He has no idea what he's going to be. But his eye lets him know about all the information that he needs to know. Like, what can they do? What is he exactly? What dimension he's in? What kind of powers this being possesses? Or just simply just being a pencil. Sorry, that's not it. Sorry, never mind about that part. But yeah, so basically, that's it. Shifter is the first hero I ever conceived, and he is one of the founding members of the Mixture, which is a superhero group that helps throughout all dimensions, and recruits are from any dimension, really. So, I think that's it for this video. So, let me guys know if you like this series and if I should do more. And if you guys have any suggestions of what I should do next. So, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this as much as I did. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.